Friends, we will continue with what we were discussing in section 147. Here the another point is, assessing officer may assess or reassess an income which is chargeable to the tax and which has escaped the assessment other than those income involving the subject matter of any approval or appeal or reference or revision. Earlier also we discussed this point. If the matter is pending before the appellate authority, with respect to the matter which is pending before the appellate authorities or under the revisionary powers of CIT, then such matters cannot be taken up for reassessment under section 147. In the initial lecture on 147 itself, I made you to write this particular note. Again, you need not write. One more thing, please look at. Section 151 of the Income Tax Act provides that Joint Commissioner, the Commissioner or the Chief Commissioner, as the case may be, being satisfied on the reasons recorded by the assessing officer about the fitness of a case for issue of notice under section 148, need not issue notice by himself. Again and again, let me tell you friends, who is most powerful in the income tax department? It is only the assessing officer. Whether it is a correction of mistake apparent on the record, or it is a case of appeal before the appellate authorities, or it is a revision with the revisionary powers of CIT, please do remember, finally all these people need to ask the assessing officer to pass the assessment order. So be careful with your whom? Assessing officer, because once that particular approval or sanction is prescribed, इसका ये मतलब नहीं वो लोग नोटिस इश्यू करते. कौन? वो जॉइंट कमिश्नर और चीफ कमिश्नर और कमिश्नर ऑफ इनकम टैक्स, वो लोग नहीं करते. They will ask the assessing officer to issue the notice. They will not issue the notice by themselves. Then one important Supreme Court observation, decision. Here earlier also we discussed on this point. Is it the issue is more important, or is it the servicing of the notice is most important? For that, what the Supreme Court says in RK Upadhyaya versus Shihanabai P. Patel, there is a clear distinction between the words issue and the service. Section 149 lays down time limit for issuing of the notice. Therefore, if the notice is issued within the limit prescribed under section 149(1), but it is serviced after the date, it will be a valid notice. This point already you have written. That is, what is most important is the servicing date, the issuing date, but not the servicing dates. Yes, this is very, very important, because possibly a small 2 marks question can appear in your CA final exam. They will create a situation and say, is this particular notice and is this particular assessment is a valid one? There you should remember that time limits which we have discussed now are very much relevant with respect to the issuing of the notice. Servicing can happen even after this particular time limit is a point. Of course, always what is most important, friend? Exception is most important at the final level. Try to understand. We discussed time limits. But please do remember, these time limits have got nothing to do with for issuing a notice under section 148. In case assessing officer need to issue it in order to carry out the direction given by the appellate authority or the courts. So, write down few of the exceptions. Exceptions to the time limit given in section 149(1). See, make subheading proviso to section 147. Where an assessment has been made, earlier under section 143(3) or under section 147, then a notice under section 148, shall not be issued after the expiry of 4 years from the end of relevant assessment year if both the following conditions are satisfied. What are those two conditions? Number one, SSE has filed the return under section 139 oblique 142(1) oblique 148, and second condition is B. SSE has disclosed fully and truly all material facts necessary for assessment. Friends, if you see, many number of times cases will be pending before the Supreme Court, High Court, only with this twist. On one hand, we are saying in the law what? Don't trouble a person who is ignorant of the law. He filed return under 139, or in pursuance of your notice he filed the return, or earlier when you have taken up his case for reassessment under 147, when you asked him to file the return by issuing a notice under section 148, he has filed the return. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ दोस्तों? He is a person who want to cooperate. Second, he has disclosed all material facts and documents which are required for you to complete the assessment. तो वैसे आदमी को लेके आप सताना मत. Please don't trouble him by again taking up the case beyond 4 years. But the problem here is what? In reality, in practical life, it would be very difficult for an SSE to argue that, yes, I have disclosed truly, fully all the material facts and documents which are required. That would be difficult to prove. Although there is a provision that if the SSE is filing the return and if he is truly and fully disclosing it, notice cannot be issued beyond 4 years, irrespective of the amount. But is it practically possible? Because tomorrow department will serve a notice under section 148 beyond 4 years, stating that you have not disclosed this material fact. Then if the SC is in a position to prove it, yes, I have already disclosed the same, then this notice becomes invalid. So theoretically, yes, for the examination these type of issues are very, very important. Practically, possibly, probably it may not be a case. Probably it may not be a case when I say it may not be a case where you can go and say to an assessing officer the notice issued is invalid. Probably for this you have to fight it till Supreme Court. So what can be fought till Supreme Court? Yes, becomes a fertile question from the examination point of view. Simply, under what circumstances a notice cannot be issued beyond 4 years? Of course, then overall knowledge you should exhibit. What is it? In case if the amount involved is below 1 lakh, notice cannot be issued under section 148 after 4 years. Exception is given in the proviso to section 147. Even if the amount is more than 1 lakh, notice cannot be issued under section 148. In case if the SSE has already filed the return under 139 or 142(1) or 148 and has disclosed fully and truly all the material facts which are necessary for the assessment. So, you be careful with these type of questions. So that made me to say that this proviso to section 147 is very, very relevant. Then one more exception is there, friends. What is that exception? Non-resident क्या करते, एक एजेंट को अपॉइंट करते यहाँ पे. All notices must be given to that agent of the non-resident. In such a situation, the law says notice under section 148 cannot be issued to the agent of a non-resident after the expiry of 2 years from the end of the relevant assessment. Here is a point. Write down. Notice under section 148 to the agent of non-residents, to the agent of the non-residents. There you write, notice under section 148 shall not be issued after the expiry of 2 years from the end of relevant assessment year. Right. These exceptions which we have discussed are prohibiting the assessing officer from issuing the notice beyond 4 years, beyond 2 years. Now, we need to study exceptions wherein notice can be issued even after 6 years. 6 years के बाद भी इश्यू कर सकते. कौन बताए? 150 बताए. सेक्शन 150 डील्स विथ दैट. ऑफ कोर्स ये जो नॉन रेसिडेंट आप लिखे सो है वो कहां पे है? 149(3) में है. ऑफ कोर्स at a later date, for you not to have a confusion, write down by the side of it 149(3). अब क्या है? 150 subsection 1 says what? 150 subsection 1 says there is no time limit for issuing the notice. Already I have discussed this matter with you. See, an appeal is preferred before the Supreme Court or the High Court or the appellate authorities or the revision under section 263, 264. There those authorities are the Commissioner of Income Tax. If he gives a direction, in order to carry out that particular direction, a notice can be issued even beyond the time limit. All of you are able to get the point here. Point is, a case is filed before the Supreme Court. Supreme Court took sufficient time to decide on the matter. अब 6 years हो गया. बाद में in the 7th year Supreme Court decided. Supreme Court decided बोले तो Supreme Court order पास करते, assessment order Supreme Court करते, नहीं करते. कौन करना? assessing officer करना. Even to give effect to that particular order, you know क्या करना? assessing officer क्या करना? He has to take up the case for reassessment. He has to take up the case for the reassessment. Reassessment को लेना बोले तो क्या होना? He has to necessarily give the notice. All of you are able to feel the point. In order to carry out the directions of the Supreme Court, High Court, IT, AT or CIT appeals or CIT regular revisionary directions or the revisionary directions under 264, assessing officer for that particular purpose to carry out their directions can issue a notice under section 148 even beyond 6 years. Who said so? 151 says so. So लिख लो, section 150 subsection 1, no time limit for issuing of notice. No time limit for issuing of notice. What is this, friends? Write down. Notwithstanding anything contained. Notwithstanding anything contained in section 149, a notice under section 148, a notice under section 148 may be issued at any time for the purpose of making the assessment, or reassessment in consequence of or in order to or in order to give effect to the findings and or the direction, not end, or the direction contained in an order under section 250, comma 254, comma 260A, comma 262, comma 263 or 264 ORR. The order of a court under any other law, So, few examples you can listen so that you can well appreciate this particular provision. That is, Supreme Court gives a decision under the Customs Act in the year 2008, as a result of which income of 20 lakhs becomes taxable for the assessment year 71-72. कब का? 71-72 का. Whether notice under section 148 can it be issued in year 2010? 71-72 का मतलब क्या है? जब हम फायदा हुआ. अब उसके बारे में अब दे सकते. Yes, 150 subsection 1 what we studied now says they can issue a notice, because 150 subsection 1 says what? In order to give effect to an order passed by the High Court or Supreme Court, notice can be issued even beyond 6 years is a point. So, how the answer got developed? In view of the provisions of section 150 subsection 1, notice under section 148 can be issued at any time, hence a notice in the year 2010 is a valid notice. So, you are supposed to write this also. A notice under section 148 can be issued at any time for the purpose of making the assessment, because how you develop the answer, there clearly our testing is whether the student is writing section 150 subsection 1 लिख रहे हैं नहीं लिख रहे हैं. That is, there what you have written already earlier, a notice under section 148 can be issued at any time for the purpose of making the assessment or reassessment under section 147 in consequence of or in order to give the effect to the findings or directions contained in an order passed under section 250, 254, 263, 264 or to give effect to any court's order is the point. So, these things need to be well remembered. Then friends, one another important thing is whether provisions of section 151, that is sanction for issuing of a notice, applies to section 150. Sanction बोले तो क्या है? Prior approval. Now one thing you are clear, notice can be issued beyond 6 years. For what purpose? To give the effect to the directions of revisionary directions of CIT or appellate directions by the different appellate authorities or the High Court or Supreme Court judgments. Notice दे सकते. But do I require to take the approval of my higher ups? What the answer is? Your section 150 overrides what is stated in the 149. So, therefore, it overrides time limits as well as what is it? The provisions contained in section 149(2), which requires you to take the sanction, that is prior approval. So, write down, that is section 150 overrides, section 150 overrides section 149. Hence, there is no need for taking any approval, brackets is sanction, for issuing a notice, beyond 6 years. Beyond 6 years, in order to carry out directions given under section 250, 254, 263, 264, 260A, 262, or order of any court, or order of any court. Of course, friends, one connecting provision here is 152. Reassessment हो गया, अब टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा. At what rate you are going to pay the tax? At the same rate at which the income would have been taxed, in case if it is properly assessed. So, whatever related to that particular assessment here, what is the rate that is there, at that rate only now the tax will be levied. Who said so? Section 152 says so. Write down. Section 152, make it side heading and write down, in an assessment or reassessment made under section 147, the tax shall be chargeable at the rates, at which it would have been charged had the income not escaped the assessment, So, few more aspects which are connecting to this reassessment process, which are being dealt by the provisions of section 152, we will continue in our continuation discussion.